I'm here at the Westgate Casino parking lot waiting for the game. Tonight we have a vloggers meetup game. There are going to be 5 vloggers in a cash game at the same table, and hopefully everybody makes a video, so you should go and compare all 5 to see how do we do, what are the differences and experiences. For now, I remember something, one of the first poker bloggers that I met, and I want to talk about that to give you an interesting story. It was a tournament on Poker Stars. This tournament was every Monday at 11:30. I'm playing it for the first time. On the table there's a player. His ID was Nick and some number, I forgot. Nick 1964, whatever. Maybe it's his birthday year. So from the first hand, he goes all in pre-flop. And he gets called by, I don't know, let's say 1 or 2 players, it doesn't matter. And he loses that pot. And he does rebuy, another 550. Second hand, he goes all in, pre-flop. He gets called and again loses. So he keeps doing that. 20 minutes he was doing rebuys, absolutely every hand. And then he won a pot. And then again he goes next hand all in, and he loses. And he rebuys again, and then he wins a pot. And then he wins one more pot. And now suddenly he has like 8,000 chips. On Poker Stars you could chat with people. So I sent to guy a message. I said, are you insane? And we were actually chatting after the tournament was over. He actually explained me. That's the system. He even doesn't care does he win a hand. He actually wants to lose. That's the point. He wants to lose and to load the table with chips. And then, because there's a rebuys are for 1 hour, so he usually hopes after 45 minutes to start winning if he already didn't win several hands. So now he actually dumps bunch of chips on a table, and everybody who beats him has now a lot of chips. He needs to win 1 or 2 hands and to take chips that he already gave to those guys, take it back from them. And his goal is, after 1 hour, when the rebuy period is over, to have 25,000 in chips. That's his goal. Now we can play poker. And he's somewhere in some top third of the whatever, with ranked by number of chips. For me, that was totally new and strange concept. So actually I started doing that. I asked Nick, how many rebuys do you do? He said usually about 20, 25. So that tournament cost him about $120, $150, somewhere there. Here I have some of my old stats, online and online log. So here, these are all hundreds of poker online tournaments I played. I logged everything. So we're gonna filter that in order to find some. And let's see, these are all that are 550, and you can see different dates there. So let's try 23rd. So 23rd, let's see, January 23rd, 06th day of the week. Monday, yep, I got it from the first one. All right, so Monday. This tournament was only on Mondays on Poker Stars. This tournament, you see about 1,500 players, 180 places paid. Prize pool was from $5 and 1,500 people. Multiply that with 5. That's 7,500. But look at this, prize pool was 33,000. That's all rebuys. You saw in the spreadsheet that there was like usually about 1,500 people playing that tournament, and usually 20% goes to first place. So the first place is between 5, 6, 7,000, which is 60 times more than what he puts in the tournament, about $100, $120. Now everything makes sense. So I started doing that. I actually cashed out a couple times, not big enough. I think it was there about 2006. when I start chatting with Nick, and he showed me he has a blog. So he's one of the first guys that had a blog. He actually inspired me to have my own blogs that developed later into MrVegas.com and the YouTube channel. Nick was regularly blogging almost like daily in his blog. His story is like this. He won some tournament on PokerStars. I think he won first place, $97,000. And he lived somewhere on East Coast. When he won that $97,000, that gave him idea he's gonna become professional poker player. He moved the family to Las Vegas, and he had a wife and 2 little girls. So on his blog, he was posting daily from his life, you know, the girl's birthday, so he posts pictures. Then in the evening, he goes plays tournament, and he had, I think in the beginning, he was not working. Then later, maybe he started dealing somewhere at some casino. I forgot all that 15 years ago. And but he was not working, so he was playing couple tournaments during the day. Like he plays one at, I don't know, Flamingo, then at 7 o'clock he goes to Caesars, it's $100 buy-in, then Saturday plays at the Venetian, $300 buy-in, and stuff like that. Reports from each of them start showing me, the first person actually that showed me the real pain of playing poker in this low stakes that we do. He was basically the tournament player, not much of the cash games. At that moment, I think he had a third child, another girl, I'm not sure. We didn't chat anymore, lost some chat contact when the online poker was canceled. 2013 or early 2014, I don't remember, spring 2014 actually. I came to Las Vegas for a job interview. I lived at that moment in Palm Springs, so I came to Las Vegas, and after job interview went to Venetian. So I'm coming to a table, and table was short-handed, like maybe only like, let's say 5 players. And I sit in seat number 3. Seat 5 in front of the dealer, some blondish, maybe even a little bald at that moment guy, short hair, and chats with dealer. So you can see they're familiar, they know each other. I look at him, and I'm looking, I said, this is Nick. Is it possible? So I turn around, sorry buddy, I said, is your name Nick? He goes, why are you asking? Well, I said, I think you're Nick. You have I don't know, wife and 3 girls, and he goes, yeah. I said, do you remember PokerStars, Monday, 11:30, a rebuy tournament? We played and chat often. He goes, oh yeah, you're a guy from Iowa. I said, no, not Iowa, it's Wisconsin, Madison. He goes, yeah, how you doing? And we talked, played for a while. He picked up then his chips and left, and I never saw him again. So Nick, if you see this by accident, hit me in the comments with maybe we can meet again and reminisce about the old PokerStars tournaments. I hope everything is all right with you and your family, and wish you the best, even if I don't see you again. You see, poker stories, or as I call it, tales from the felt. I decided to show you something based on a request. Somebody commented on a couple of days ago, said, show us one of your old pictures. So I answered, I have none, because I am living in RV and all my photo albums are in the storage and buried somewhere there. Even if I want, I cannot find them. But I actually managed to find a few on a Facebook. So here's a little photo show of younger days of Mr. Vegas. This is prior to coming to America. Let's start here with one photo from high school days. This is probably, I don't know, second year in high school. Just crazy, doing crazy stuff as all of us in that age. This is the last day of high school, and here I am in the last row. This is, I think, that same year, just the New Year's Eve, I think 1972. Next year, summer, I'm on the right hand side, and that's on the corner where I lived, and these are my buddies from the corner. We all lived there, and we were hanging there every day. That was like scenes from the movies. The guy on my right hand side with sunglasses, he was in the first poker game that I mentioned when I did interview with Randy. That was first time when I played the poker. I think he was in that game. And later there was New Year's Eve party a year after. I was at some girl's house, and we also had the game there. He was in that game. He was a year older than me. He was an interesting character. In that year, he was on TV, a TV show, something like Jeopardy, and you choose the topic you want to answer. And his topic was cars. He was killing it. They couldn't kick him off the show. He won all money, all prizes, and an actual car. He knew absolutely everything. In the country where we even didn't have a car, we were so poor in communist-run country. Here I'm with my high school buddies, about probably 1973. Didn't have haircuts since high school, so that's 1973. And here's a clip of that same year. I was in Venice, Italy, San Marco Square, and all these pigeons, shitting on tourists. And we buy corn, $1 or something, so we feed them, and the birds are like crazy, like Hitchcock movie. Well, then I had a haircut, and that's on that my same corner. Those are girls from neighborhood. They're a few years younger than me. This is 1979. I was at that time already involved with Boy Scouts, and I was some big-time leader. And this is from one of our instructional seminars we have in summer, it's 2 weeks, and then we teach kids like summer camp, and then we teach them different skills. As a Boy Scout, I was known in the whole country, and everybody had to love me or hate me. These are my boys, and as you can see, they treat me like a Egyptian pharaoh. Here again, my Boy Scouts and girls, because we don't call them Boy Scouts, we call it just Scouts, and we have boys and girls in the same troop. This is 1983. Again, whole my life was for a decade just the Boy Scouts, nothing else. And this is 1976, two of my favorites. On the last jamboree that we had, this was May 1st. I think that was the year where the Chernobyl exploded, and we woke up, there was a rain, and they said we should go home because all that uranium or whatever, that garbage that wind brought with the rain. And they said, go home. We didn't go home. This was May. October that year, I came to US and became Mr. Vegas. And to wrap this video, quick top 5. This time, my favorite rockers. I have to start with Bob Dylan as number 1. Number 2 is the true rocker, one of the best kids from England, Eric Burdon, member of Animals and a legend. Number 3 is Van Morrison. I have all Van Morrison albums, over 60. Irish guy. Started with Gloria, that was the first hit, came to America, split the band, and came to America, and my God, what kind of sound he created. Do you know that those Emmys, what's the name, the music awards that they give, they invented the category because couldn't put Van Morrison into some category. They invented and called it Irish soul. That doesn't exist. That's just one made up stuff for Van Morrison, but they gave him an award one year. Number 4 is Keith Richards. I was always the Beatles guy, not that much the Rolling Stones, and through the years didn't care much about Stones. I like some of their music, but lately in my second half of my life, I start appreciating more Rolling Stones and especially Keith Richards. All of them, they were fanatics for the early blues. Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters, and Chuck Berry. Rolling Stones, when they made the first record, it was all made just covers of some different blues songs. They came to Chicago, knock on the door of Muddy Waters in the middle of the night, went to a club, and then they jammed there with Muddy Waters. All those kids, Eric Burdon, John Mayall, Eric Clapton, whoever, they were infected with that blues. And that's why I appreciate Keith Richards. Also, Keith Richards is nicknamed the human riff because every his song starts with some specific riff. He's really great on acoustic guitars. Number 5, it's really hard. I really don't know who to put there, and really nobody comes to mind. I'm gonna say Graham Parsons. Graham Parsons was a buddy with Keith Richards and Rolling Stones. He's a kid from Bakersfield, California. He had the band Flying Burrito Brothers, then played with the Byrds, and hanging out with Amy Lou Harris in the Joshua Tree Park Motel. 26 years old, overdosed on heroin, and died in room number 8, I think. There's a shrine in front of the room. I went to visit that. Graham Parsons is on my top 5, not because what he accomplished in rock music, but just for that he didn't, because he died too early. All right, have to run for the game now. So long. Good luck.